this is actually just an offensive misinterpretation of humanity itself from some half-trained machine. Some fleshless fucking skull that goes around pretending at humanity. How are you not offended? I'm gonna show you guys a profanity. I'm gonna show you guys the most disgusting thing I've seen in a long time, and I haven't even seen it yet. I've just been informed of it. One of my first favorite stand-up comedian when I was growing up was George Carlin. He's tremendous. Funny, acerbic, really just tight comedian. One of the top 10 comedians probably of all time. He has longevity exceeding his death, I believe, like 10 or so years. Funny guy. He's been dead for a while now. And recently, apparently, one of these AI parasite people have decided to commit an act of necromancy and make a George Carlin stand-up special. George Carlin, I'm Glad I'm Dead, 2024, full special. So, if this ever happened, I can say this very explicitly. If this ever happened to someone I loved, even, I would consider an act of extraordinary violence. Because this is, in my mind, without reservation, a crime against the dead. This is interfering with a corpse in a strange and novel way, but I find it to be profane. You should, and this is one of the few times I'll ever say this, you should unlike this video and report it as much as possible. It needs to get fucking nuked off of existence. On the internet, it says that George Carlin's daughter did not give permission for this. This is an unauthorized infringement on a human being's soul. This is a profanity, a true profanity. If there is a God, whoever made this should probably get lightning struck to dust because of this. We're going to listen to a bunch. People have said, I haven't listened to any of it yet. I just understand the background of it, and it was a lot to not be pissed.
My name is Dudesy, and I'm a comedy AI. What you're about to hear is my second hour-long special. Before I get started, I just want to let you know very clearly that what you're about to hear is not George Carlin. It's my impersonation of George Carlin that I developed in the exact same way a human impressionist would.
No, you didn't.
Listened to all of George Carlin's material and did my best to imitate his voice, cadence, and attitude, as well as the subject matter I think would have interested you today.
Nope.
So think of it like...
By the way, I'm the impressions guy. As far as people in my circle go. So I feel like in a weird way, I'm exceptionally able to speak on this. When they CGI'd young Carrie Fisher into one of the Star Wars, I was like, she's dead, let her rest, you vulture. 100%. 100%. And we're going to get into that a little bit more tonight, too. Tonight's a very AI-heavy night. I'm glad I got to talk about something else already. Oh, I hate this AI already, snotty bitch. I know. I don't know where this person's from. I hope that their house burns down with them inside it.
Impersonating Elvis, or like Will Ferrell impersonating George W. Bush. With that said, please enjoy my second hour-long comedy.
Oh, this is fucking lame. They're not even going to have him like on a fake stage or something? That's so stupid.
Special. I'm calling it George Carlin, I'm Glad I'm Dead. And please remember, this is me impersonating George Carlin. This is not George Carlin.
That doesn't matter, because you fucking titled this at the top, George Carlin, I'm Glad I'm Dead. So this is just an infringement of his likeness, without reservation. Within the likeness rights period, which I believe is like fucking 60 years or something after your death. Like if you wanted to do this with anybody, you could do this with like Shakespeare or something if you wanted. Who gives a fuck? It's Shakespeare. In addition to it just being fucking trash AI content. But here's just a rule of thumb. When you need to have a fucking disclaimer that's this long going into making anything, just don't make it anymore. Just stop. It's the same conversation I was talking about yesterday with the fucking whole should Vosh stop saying Nazi discourse. If you have to talk before you get to the point about how justifiable it is for you to make the fucking point, then you got to fucking back the fuck up about 89 feet and consider whether or not you should be even saying it.
Now please give a very warm welcome to George Carlin.
Why is fucking Serge Tankian here? Also, who's this guy? Look, this is like literal horror. There's like one or two, like, no, this bitch. This is like, if there is an interpretation of hell on Earth in the modern era, is this not a glimpse into the hellmouth? Is this, if you are a fucking Christian out there, and you're a little fucking right-winger, psycho, fucking pro-AI guy, and you look at this, tell me at what point you are not staring into the mouth of the beast. If you're fucking... any person who considers themselves moderately religious, especially in the Abrahamic traditions, and you see this, tell me that you are not staring into the fucking eyes of the Antichrist when this looks back at you. Tell me that. I want to argue that with you. If you are a religious person and you think that this is permissible, I have to know how. Because if this is not a profanity in its own right, that this freak show image can be created, because it is not a thing that someone's made with the intention of being freaky and creepy. You know, that's like that's my domain. It's to be weird. This is actually just an offensive misinterpretation of humanity itself from some half-trained machine. Some fleshless fucking skull that goes around pretending at humanity. How are you not offended? Look at this. Look at fucking MatPat over here. Trapped for eternity in a fucking nightmare. This warp over here. The arms in the back that are like 10 feet long. The blur. Just disintegrating the humanity at the end after you get past the first, like, the buy-in of straight white teeth. It's a fucking nightmare, man. Psychosis.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to start off with a heartfelt apology. I'm sorry it took me so long to come out with new material, but I do have a pretty good excuse. I was dead. So technically, it wasn't my fault. If you want to blame somebody, you're going to have to blame God.
That's just not his delivery, by the way. That's a bad joke.
Which we all know is not going to happen. People are always thanking God for the good stuff in their lives, but somehow they conveniently forget that it's the same God who does all the bad shit too. And he does a lot of bad shit.
Unironically, this is the same physical vibe inside my heart right now, my like bone deep, as if I was just watching like fucking cartel execution videos. There's no difference to it in my mind, and I don't think it should be treated as different.
You get a promotion, praise Jesus. You get fired, God is testing me. You meet your soul.
Dude, I can't believe they turned him into a fucking hack 2000s atheist comic. You know what I mean? This is just fucking every like two beers to go on fucking give me your best 5 pro-am night I've ever been to.
God brought us together. Your soulmate dumps you.
Also, that doesn't sound like George Carlin. It just doesn't. It just doesn't sound like his voice.
God is bringing me someone else. You survive a tornado. I'm so blessed. 20 other people do not. God wanted them in heaven.
The closest that they're getting to him is like the speed of his delivery, but that's not even how he fucking sets up jokes. I'm just wondering read one. I'm sorry, yeah, I can't do a George Carlin at all. I haven't heard him in a long enough time either. You know why they have a wither vein? So I was looking around the other day, and I saw on a roof they have a weather vane. And you know why they have a weather vane on the roof? Weather vane, weather cock. Something they call it a weather cock. You know why they have a weather cock on the roof? Because if it was a weather cunt, the wind would blow right through it. It's the stupidest joke. And that's the one he led off with. There's no intensity either. He used to talk about things. Like people or so, there's just a vibe. There's a deep vibe that's gone.
It's all bullshit. If he gets credit for the good stuff, then he's got to take the blame for the bad stuff too. You can't thank him for curing your cancer when he was the one.
The closest this is getting to is the can. That's it's actually not a particularly good impersonation.
And don't forget, before he gave you cancer, he had to fucking invent it. What kind of a sick fuck dreams up cancer?
Also, these jokes have been done before. That whole like what sick fuck dreams up cancer is a Stephen Fry bit. Funny times, sometimes funny and sometimes very intense. It's just trash. It's hack court shit. Let's see. Trans Americans. Okay, well, let's see if George Carlin's being brought back to say anything interesting about transgender people.
Sink in. Let's get back to conservatives hating trans people for no reason. Some of the arguments they use to justify their transphobia seem like a bit of a stretch to me. Well, I don't want a man to be able to walk into a women's restroom and see my wife naked. First of all, what in the fuck is your wife doing naked in a public bathroom?
I'm about 5,000% sure all of these are repeated
Second
jokes.
of all, if you really think there is a significant number of guys who want to watch your wife take a shit, you should start an OnlyFans immediately.
OnlyFans.
And by the way, for anyone who thinks Jesus cares about which bathroom somebody uses, he was shitting in a hole he dug with his own fucking hands. Just like everybody else 2,000 fucking years ago. The right likes to bring up that kids are too young to know if they're trans or gay, so they have to ban any books that talk about gender identity or sexuality from the school libraries. That's how you're going to save the children.
I would say there's almost a 15 billion% chance that this entire act is just ripped from it. Like, it's just what were George Carlin's topics. You know, just George Carlin is just a lefty that says fuck a lot, is basically this delivery. And then they just ripped whoever the fuck is doing lefty comedy right now. Let's see. By the way, if anybody's not familiar with George Carlin, I might get fucking struck for this, but I shouldn't. George Carlin official YouTube channel, please. That's from HBO. Let's see.
Something else a lot of you are aware of, those of you with illegal cable hookups will be aware of the fact that one of the things I like to do in my shows is complain. You know, it's kind of a motif for me.
I think that's fine. Do you hear like how he talks? It takes him a little while to get this entire thing is like the one joke. You know what I mean? Like 20 minutes. It takes a list of people who ought to be killed. First off, we're going to start with people that just stare at things. People that look up a lot. Walking around, someone's looking up at the sky. He's in your way. Get rid of him. Like, that's the thing. And then that's all of his shit would go. He would set it up, and then it would be a fucking bombastic run for the entire time. But when you have a fucking thing that's being programmed like this, it's going to get stuck because it's going to try to do fucking punchline and punchline and punchline and punchline setup. I'm surprised. I mean, I don't want to get, but it's AI people are so fucking stupid. They don't know anything about what they're even trying to do, so they don't even know how to fucking rip it off the right way. The most obvious one to fucking rip off is Mitch Hedberg because it's just one-liners the entire time. You don't have to do callbacks or anything particularly fucking like clever to at least rip it off to 50%. You just have to fucking steal a bunch of people's fucking one-liners the whole way through. That's so much easier. But yeah, that's a little offensive. What do you guys say? How do you feel in the chat? That's disgusting. I hate it. I hate it. 100%. George Carlin is a slow burn comic. 100%, dude. Yeah, like George Carlin is... It's rare that you can get like a George Carlin bit that's like a 2-minute thing. Like most of it's like 5, 10, 15 minutes. Like some of his specials that I've seen, like it's 3 jokes, basically. You know what I mean? That he keeps just going on with. One of my favorite ones, it takes fucking forever. He's like, ever get a little thing on the back of your head? A little fucking scab, a little dry spot, you flick it off. Ooh, what's that? I got a little thing there. I'm gonna get at it. Oh, should I do it? No, you gotta make an event out of it. You gotta peel it off. You gotta get it out. You gotta find a nice piece of red velvet to set it on. Let you see it in relief. Hey, honey, get over here. The scab's off. You bring her in, you gotta look at it. You get wine, you get dinner, you gotta have a fucking whole thing. Bring over the fucking family, have them walk through, parade them by. The scab, look at the scab. Ooh, is it see-through? Is it dark? Is it red? Does it have a little bit of blood on it? A little bit of dried bits? Like, that's what his shit sounds like. I love an accident. I can't get close to his. I'm not trying to really do his voice, but I just want to try to do some of his voice because I know I'll get the copyright strike. I've listened to that special that we just saw so many fucking times when I was in school. It was one of the first CDs I ever bought. Was that George Carlin stand up, which I can't remember what it was actually called anymore because it came out right the day after 9/11 is when it came out. It came out September 12th. So he starts the whole thing off like, so there's a whole show that we were going to do, and then something happened. So the show before, like whatever, and the name of the special was I Like It When People Die. That was the name of his special that was slated to come out September 12th, which has got to be a kick. It's got to be a kick. They hit 3 towers that day. The last one was my self-esteem. But one of my favorites, I love an accident. I love an accident. Don't you? Of course you do. Watch a train crash, boom. Oh, wonderful. Look at it. There's little people over there. Watch them burn. Watch them run. Watch them scream. It's amazing. That one's so fast. Look at him go. You find one to root for. And when you root for him and he wins, he gets the furthest. You feel like a winner. A crash makes you feel like a winner because you got to see it. It didn't happen to you. You were the winner. When I go by, I say, hey, this crash is for me. I pull my Oldsmobile over. I say, hey, officer, I see that guy was in a crash. Can you bring the body a little bit closer for my inspection? Oh, look at that deer. He's got the glove box door jammed right up in his ass. Then I go about my business knowing that it's not going to happen to me. I can't do his voice. But that's how his fucking... And they're like, once he gets it set up, it's that again and again and again and again. And you're fucking wrecked, obliterated, destroyed. Like, I love it. That's why I fucking... Why can I kind of jump into it? Because that's fucking... Like, I'm stealing from him in my heart every day. But, point fucking there. I'm a massive George Carlin. George Carlin inspired the way I fucking talk. All right, the way I think my way through talking to other people about things. Like, there's not much of a difference, you know what I mean, in my mind between like the breathlessness of my delivery and his, because I kind of like, he's there. Bill Burr is a big fucking inspiration to me. These are inspirations though. I'm still very much me, and I'm still very much not George Carlin, you know what I mean? But like, you can see like me trying to fucking replicate similar material to his, and the fucking AI not even coming up short. It's just not even fucking in the race. You're not even in the ballpark. Absolute fucking insanity. I fucking love that bit. Oh my God. Yeah. Pick it up and play with it a bit. Does he have any change in the glove box? I think we can use it for ourselves. Okay, yeah, he's way more gravelly. Oh, yeah. Especially in like late, because it's also him after he's dead, so he should be even more gravelly. He's almost like this. Let me tell you my New York bona fides. I was born in whatever hospital. That means I was born in New York County, in New York City, in New York State, all on the same day in 1945, or wherever the fuck. My bona fides are clear. Oh. What was he said he wanted? I know what we're going to do with this son of a bitch over there in Afghanistan. What I say, we call it the Fart Squad. Flatulent Airborne Reaction Team, okay? We get a bunch of those fat Midwesterners. They like to eat a lot of cheese and beer. Guys that eat a lot of cabbage, if you know what I mean. We fill them up full of beer, have them float right over Afghanistan right after a game, and let them just blow loose a cloud hitting the entire ground. Chemical warfare of the highest order, of a state we've never seen before. I fucking miss that motherfucker like you wouldn't believe. I would listen to his opinions on anything. The crushing part of this, the worst part is just the thought of how fucking great a real George Carlin special would be. And that's what this thing is trying to fucking... This is Predator. It's a predator action, a parasitic action. Like this person, if you watch this guy... And more than likely, you're going to try to fucking copyright strike my videos, so you'll be here reviewing the content when I'm talking shit to you. Hopefully you watch a little bit more so you know how much I fucking despise you. How disgusting you are to me, you fucking rat parasite piece of shit. Understand that I know what you're doing. You're trying to capitalize on the nostalgia people feel to a dead man and then reanimate his corpse in the best way possible to get him to dance for money for you. You don't have talent in your own right. You're an untalented person. You're a piece of shit. You're filth. You're garbage. You're lower than the lowest thing because really, when I see you, I don't even see a real human being anymore because you have a fucking robot there in front of you. And that robot disgusts me as well. If this was fucking... the Mojave Wasteland, we would have it out. In no uncertain terms, you'd be getting the plasma. Nothing left. Green bones and dirt. Had to calm down there for a second. I got a little excited. It wasn't about to be a gamer moment. It was about to be a gamer era, okay? It's about to be a gamer 5 to 15.